Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I would appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button. I'd love to see you back. This is probably my last haul for the year. I got a few things. I never have a really large haul, but I'm now putting together a list of things I would like for Christmas. So the rule in my house is pretty much you don't buy anything after November. So these were mostly purchased in October. Maybe I got one or two things in the very early days of November, but for the most part, this is my October haul. Let me push these over to the side, and then I'll go one by one and show you what I bought. So here we go. Again, I'm a little late to the party because she's come out with a new book, but I just purchased Marie Trolle's last book, Shooting Star. You've all probably seen a flip through of this book, so I'll go through pretty quickly, but I haven't really looked at any of these books. I just, threw them on the shelf, but I have seen flip throughs of all of them. But wow. It's a creamy color paper. It's not white. It feels like the same paper. It probably is, but today it feels really, really smooth to me. Not always great for pencil colorists because there's not much for the pencil to grab onto, but her books I've not really had any trouble with finding or getting an intense color. But it is a beautiful book, and I do like all of these scenes that are in here over the characters that she has. So these are kind of a cool, they're not new because she's had things like this in the past, but I think there's more of them in here than there are of these portraits. Okay, that's really weird. All the squirrels on someone's head. All right, that's a little weird, but the rest of the book looks pretty cool. Like, yeah, I really like these winter scenes, and December would be the perfect time to do a few of them. There's still quite a few portraits in here, which I love doing, so I don't mind them at all. I like the cat because I love cats, as I mention constantly. But it's a beautiful book. These things creep me out a little. I don't know what they're called. I think they have a name, but they kind of creep me out. But for the most part, I would do pretty much close to every image in this book. It's really pretty. Yeah, there's only a few images here and this is the one that I see a lot of people have done. So I'm probably not going to do this for a little while because their stuff was so beautiful that I would feel intimidated to do it, I think. So I'll wait like a few months, and that'll, my memory's not that great. So in a couple of months, I'll be fine and I won't remember them at all. This is gorgeous too. That would be lovely in the springtime. Like really hot pinks, and the hummingbirds you could do in all sorts of aquas. Wow, that's a beautiful page for me. But gorgeous book, no complaints. Really glad I added it to my collection. I think I only have one other Maria Trolle book, but I would like to get more. I haven't really watched any flip throughs of the new one, so I'd be interested to see that. So that's the first book, Shooting Star by Maria Trolle. The next book is a Japanese book, but I got it in the United States. It's now being sold on Amazon. So it's Victorian Fantasy Collection by, I'm sorry guys, I don't know who the author is. I don't know who the author or authors are, or not too sure, but okay. It's a perforated book. I didn't know that. I have a couple of perforated books, and so far nothing is ripped off, so I don't have an aversion to them. the paper is nice. It's thicker than I thought. I mean, not cardstock thick or anything like that, but it's nice paper. But it has that same feeling of a few other Japanese books I have. And to be honest, I'm a little worried about that because I do not like the paper in the other books I have. But this is essentially a one-sided book. I don't really need the name. So maybe if I use a watercolor or an alcohol marker, the paper won't bother me as much as it does with, I think it's a Kanoko Agusa book, to be honest, that I'm really thinking of, that my pencils just seem to get really gummy really fast. But it's cute that she has a little index here of what each section is. This is chapter 2. And the images are absolutely beautiful. I'm a little bummed about the paper, but let's see. You know, maybe when I color in it, it won't be bad at all. I'm just feeling, I don't know what the feeling is, but I have it in the other book too. Oh, this is adorable. Warrior's Rest, Leo. That's gorgeous. Who is that? That's a Libra, the goddess and treaty for balance. The goddesses and treaty for balance. That's a Libra. That's gorgeous. That might be the first one I'm going to color. I really like the look. I love that hat. Let's see where Aquarius comes in. Sagittarius. Capricorn. Oh, there I am. So I'm the front cover. I was born in January, so I'm an Aquarius. So chapter 3 is my secret place. So, okay, so this is all rooms, or mostly rooms. I'll go a little faster because I seem to be going quite slow, but like I said, I didn't look through any of these books, so this is the first time I'm actually seeing them in person. That's different. I like that. That's lovely also. I mean, it's a beautiful book. Chapter 4. Okay, this looks very steampunky. Oh gosh, this book is absolutely gorgeous. I am really happy I bought it. And I'm hoping that I'm wrong about the paper. I'm really hoping I'm wrong because this book is gorgeous. Oh, she's kind of, wow, those are big boobs. Sorry, but they are huge. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. They are huge. Okay, that was distracting. Oh, and in the back, she's got some of her own, I think this is a female. I don't actually know. Some of it colored. A little bit about markers in here. So I'll use my Google Translate and see what I could figure out. But Victorian Fantasy Collection, an absolutely lovely book, especially if you like portraits, which I do. So really glad I bought that one. And I'm sorry, I don't remember whose channel I saw this on. I was watching someone else do a flip through for Halloween for this dark fantasy, and I really, really liked it. I missed it really pretty much for Halloween, you know, this year, but I don't really care when I color things. I'm somewhat of a seasonal colorist, but not necessarily so. So I don't mind coloring these things out of Halloween season. The paper is Amazon paper, so, you know, it's not the greatest, but it is single-sided, so you could use your alcohol markers. It's creepier than I remember it being, or scarier actually, than I remember it being. I remember a couple of images when I saw the flip through, but I don't remember there being as many as I'm noticing now. Yeah, I'm not sure I would color more than half this book, but that is pretty much my thumb mark. If I would color at least half of the book, I usually tend to buy it. Like, that's really scary to me, yeah. as is that. But some of the other images are really great. Yeah, they're scary, but I can do these. This is not a problem for most of the book. A couple of the images probably too scary for me to do, but otherwise, yeah. And you know, it's subjective, right? Like, I don't find this that scary, but other people would. So I think you have to kind of look through this book yourself and decide whether you would do the majority of the images or whether it's too dark for you. But this is Dark Fantasy by Jade Summer. That's a publishing. I don't know who did the images. It might be multiple people. But pretty book. Yeah. A little scarier than I thought. I don't know. I don't think it's a regret purchase yet. I have to color in it. But the fact that it's kind of scarier than I thought. I knew it was on Amazon paper. I mean, it's so thin, you could see the image behind it. I can see what these wings, I think they're wings. Well, it's not wings. It's kind of like this headdress. I can see it in the page before. So it's very thin paper, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to color in it and see what I think of it, and I'll get back to you on that one. So that's it for the books. The rest are going to be supplies that I purchased. This is a water brush set that I purchased at a store. Was it Zebra, the store? In Venice, actually. And it was so cheap. I'm not even sure I care whether they're really good. I think I paid €6 for 6 brushes. So that, you know, $1 a brush. I mean, even if they don't last me that long, I think I would still consider this a good purchase. It's only €1. It's like $1.15, $1.20 for me, $1.10. But they look pretty nice. They look nice in the store. I haven't tried any of them. Yeah, no, here's all 6 of them. So I will give these a try and let you know, especially people in Europe. I'm pretty sure you could get this more easily than we can in the United States. But I love a water brush, and we'll see if they're any good. But for €1 a piece, I don't know if they could be really that bad. Only because I only paid $1 for them, or $1, whatever. The next, I bought some black dual-tipped brush pens. I kept running out of these, so and I thought, let me try a brand I've never tried before. Let me see how dark it gets. You know, especially if I'm doing a night sky, you run out of the marker pretty quickly. So, and when I went on Amazon, I saw this, is this Mogian? Mogian? I don't know how to pronounce that. And it was almost as cheap to buy 12 of them than it was to buy maybe 2 or 3 of a more popular brand. So I thought I'd give them a try. Looking at it now, sorry, it's not as opaque when you're doing one layer. It's more like an off black, I would say. But if you're doing 2, it's completely black. So that might be why they're inexpensive. They're not as opaque as, let's say, another more popular brand. So I'm going to use them. Not an issue for me. There are 12 of them, and they were inexpensive. I can't remember what I paid for them, but I don't remember them being more than like $1 something per pen. But we're going to give them a shot and see. Then I have 3 small sets of the Ohuhu markers, and all of the markers were running out. I tried to go on their website to see if I could get a refill for the pens that I had, and they were out of a lot of the colors that I kind of wanted, because like the black was out, and they don't have all of the colors even in my small sets. So I decided to buy the Ohuhu set of 6 which I took one out and started using already. They're nice and juicy, and you know, Ohu, I really like Ohu. I think they're a really good company. I haven't had any problems with them, with anything I've purchased from them. So yeah, I think these are going to be great for me to use. I have tried recently to blend my pencils with them. It looks really good when other people are doing it, to be honest. It looks like a beautiful blend. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but so far that hasn't really worked for me. But, you know, I love them for just the alcohol markers that I use and blending with them. So yeah, I think this is a great purchase. In my last haul, I mentioned that I recently purchased the 50 set of Holbein colored pencils. And I chose the 50 because I was originally saving for the 100, but I noticed there were so many pastels in that 100 set. And I'm pretty happy with the Brutfuner ones that I have. I think they're Brutfuner Macaron or something like that. And I'm pretty happy with them. I don't use pastels that often, but I thought, you know, if I'm happy with the cheaper brand, which I rarely am, why pay $4 a pencil? Because that's kind of what they are here in the US. $4 a pencil for similar colors. So I decided I would start with the 50 and then slowly build up my collection. However, when I started coloring with them, I wasn't that happy, and it wasn't the quality of the pencils. It's just that I don't mix colors that easily. Like, I don't mix a blue and a yellow in order to get a different green. It's not the way I color. So I prefer to have like what they would call convenience colors. And having the 50, I felt really, really limited because, again, there were a few pastels in there anyway. But I really felt so limited that I just bought a bunch more. And from now on, I think I will go into like just buying 2 or 3 pencils at a time if I'm putting an order into Blick. Because I think that's the only place here in the US that sells the Holbeins. I'm not 100% positive about that, but that's where I'm buying them. So I purchased 2, 4, 6. Okay, so I purchased 15 new colors, and yeah, I think they're all new. I don't think any of them is a repeat purchase, but we'll see. I'm gonna quickly swatch these out, and I won't talk so that I can fast forward it, but needless to say, I love the pencils. They feel really nice to me. I have not sharpened them, so they may be a little waxy. Someone had told me that they usually have some kind of wax filler on top. All pencils, not just Holbein, but let's see. Sorry, that's a little ASMR, is that what it's called? But, all right. So the first one is Signal Red. Okay, guys, I can't help but talk. That is a beautiful red. I mean, it's like, I guess I would call it like a, it's not a Christmas red, because I don't know, but like a schoolhouse red. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. So that is Signal Red. The next one up is Matter Red. Okay, guys, that's it. That's the swatching of the 15 new pencils. The colors that really stood out to me of these 15 were these four. I really loved the vibrancy of these four colors. I mean, they're all vibrant colors. Say the least, it's fully pigmented, it's easy to lay down, it's a really good pencil. That's why they're charging $4 a pencil. But these were, I don't know, they're not unique because this just looks like a sky blue, but it is a beautiful color, this porcelain blue. It stood out, as did this peacock. The color on the pencil doesn't match to me as well as some of the others do. This looks more green, and in reality, it's more of a, like, could it be like a dark aqua? I don't know, but it's a lovely, lovely color. And it seems to be standing by itself on this chart. So I'm not sure if Claire really found a good blend with this. And by the way, again, all of my swatches come from Color with Claire. It's got the U in it, so it's European color, not American. So colorwithclaire.com, she offers them for free, or you could just make a donation. These are great charts. And I'm sure she goes through a lot of work to find like a family, like a blending family. I don't know what we would call this, but you know, I'm not that great at art terminology, obviously, but yeah, I think she works really hard to get this, and I absolutely love them and really appreciate that she does them. So sidebar, if you want a good chart that has color family chart, she has other charts, but I like the color family charts. Stop by colorwithclaire.com and give her a look. So back to the pencils. Sorry, I saw a squirrel and got sidetracked. But peacock blue, also really nice. Of course, I couldn't stop myself from talking with the Signal Red. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous middle red. It's not too orangey, it's not too blue, but it looks like it's kind of right there in the middle. I think it's a lovely, lovely color red. And then the last one I really liked was the olive green. It's a lovely, like, sap kind of, maybe more muted than a sap, but I think it does go pretty nicely. Like if you want to do the sap, the moss, and the olive, I think that could be a nice blend. I would have to try it myself to see, but this olive green is a lovely color green. There's the Signal Red, the porcelain blue, and the peacock blue. So, okay, so that is the additional 15 pencils that I purchased for my Holbein collection. So I'll move these over to the side. The next thing I purchased are some watercolors. Jackson's Art sells these Roman Small. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce the last name. SZMAL. I think it's Polish company, but these are great watercolors, guys, and they are not expensive, especially if you do what I do, which is wait for a sale. And you know, if you order enough stuff, the shipping charge is not really high to the United States. So I purchased these. I kind of did this with a friend, and we split the cost of the shipping, and she bought a bunch of them too because Jackson's was having a sale on watercolor. Obviously, they're not anymore. I think it was sometime in October. So I am going to swatch these at another time, but I think you could kind of see they have swatches. This is a cobalt cerulean blue, and that's the swatch. And this is a hand-painted swatch, so it's going to be accurate on watercolor paper. It may change color if we are using it in a coloring book. The next color I purchased was Hooker's Green, and it is a lovely green. I mean, I'm not a fan of the green colors, but this is a lovely shade. The third one is a cobalt teal. And it is also a lovely color. Yeah, it's an aqua to me, but I don't know the difference between teal and aqua, so I would call this an aqua color. And then the last color I purchased is, I think this is Aquarius green, but I'm not sure. I can't read that, but it's number 363. Yeah, I'm not too sure what this color is, but it doesn't actually look that different from the Hooker's green, but maybe on paper it will. So I'll give that a shot. But this is my Roman Small watercolor set. I put them into I bought this Meeden. I just bought this Meeden tray, and I really love my colors. And what I love is they started using half pans, so I could kind of stick these in the middle here and get a few more colors in. I don't think I have that many more spaces for large sizes, and they last so long because they're really well pigmented that I think these are just going to be a nice addition, these half pans, and I'll just use them enough. So I'm going to swatch them, and then I'll come back and show you what the swatches look like. Okay, so here are the new colors. I actually had one that on the side that went under a book that I didn't see, which was this Quin Scarlet. They are absolutely stunning colors. I'm a little disappointed here. These colors are very close, the Aquarius green and the Hooker's green. So I really don't see a need to get both of them. The Hooker's green is just got a slightly more yellow tone to it. It is a little darker, I think, in its mass tone, but you know, I think you could buy the Aquarius green and just add a little tiny bit of yellow to it and get the Hooker's green. So this is a little bit of a disappointment, but I'm going to use both. They're both gorgeous colors. These two blues are lovely additions. They're not like anything I have. The cobalt looks like a true cobalt. The teal is absolutely lovely. And then this Quin Scarlet is a beautiful pinkish red. And it's really light in its mass tone. You don't get a very, very deep red, but I think it's a nice addition. It might be a little close to the Scarlet Lake, obviously the scarlet color, but I think it is still a beautiful color. It's more pink. This looks a little bit more orange to me. So I love the colors I purchased. Two of them are not completely dry, so I'll see what they look like when they're dry, but they are lovely, lovely colors and easy to work with. They're very highly pigmented and they're not grossly expensive. So I really like this brand, and I think that, you know, maybe I get one more at some time and complete my set. I don't know what color I would add though, because I've got a bunch of greens, I have a bunch of reds, I have yellows, blues, a purple. I don't use purple that often, so I wouldn't think of getting more than these two. One is like a lavender and one is more like a violet. Yeah, I don't know what I would add and probably why I didn't buy a seventh color because I didn't know what to do. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think it looks really good. So, okay, that's my Roman Smalls watercolor additions. And the last item actually was given to me. A friend is an art teacher and she gets donations sometimes, but she has to have enough for like an entire class. And they're young, so working with like a gel crayon is not easy for them. They really kind of just use it very hard. So she donated them to me. And I've never worked with them before. I haven't even tried them yet. I don't think they're an expensive brand. I have not gone on, any websites to go see what they look like, but this is really, really pretty. I don't know if this is like an oil pastel. I don't really have very many oil pastels, but it kind of feels like it. It is very slightly iridescent. I think that it was more iridescent before I put my fingers on it. So let's see another color. Yeah, once I rubbed it in, it seemed to be less sparkly. But they are really, really nice. They're very creamy. So that's it without me rubbing it. And you can see it's got quite a nice sheen on it. I mean, that's really, really a pretty color. But let me rub it in. No, this one retained the sparkle. I mean, you can see it on my fingers that the sparkles are coming off. So I don't know if on a coloring book over time, it would be less sparkly than this. I'm gonna have to try using them. And honestly, this is kind of like a really nice surprise. I really thought they were gonna be garbage. Oh, this one looks used or something. Oh, maybe she did it, tried it with the kids and they smashed it because this looks somewhat smashed. And, maybe that's when she decided, it's not something that she's gonna order for her classes. But it's a really nice surprise because I didn't know they were going to be so pigmented. I thought they were going to be really, really cheap. But they are lovely colors. Look at that yellow. That's a really yellow gold. Yeah, I think I'm like pleasantly surprised here, guys. So these are Anchor Art metallic twist ups. Like I said, they were donated, so I don't think these are going to be hard to find. They're probably like in your local shop if you live in the US, or you could probably find them on Amazon, maybe even like a Blick. I'm not too sure. But a really nice surprise, these metallic watercolor gel crayons. Oh snap, they're watercolor. I didn't even see that until right now. Hold on, let me see what happens. Well, they move around quite nicely. Yeah, I think that looks really pretty. I'm sorry I'm using an old water bottle and now I know not to drink it because it's definitely, but I wasn't prepared to do this, so, got to use what I have. Okay, the blue is not really spreading that nicely as a watercolor. It's definitely getting splotchy, not a smooth color like this one is. Yeah, I might try just using them like a soft pastel or oil pastel. Yeah, some of the colors are more splotchy than others. So I'm not too sure. I really, I have watercolor, so not sure I would use an inferior product as a watercolor when I already have the Roman Small. This one's a little bit better, but I'm still getting Yeah, it's a little better. I'm getting a fairly smooth transition of color, but these two didn't work out as well. So I think I'm going to use them as a wax crayon and see if they dry up, because they are, like where I'm touching it, slightly tacky still, but they are drying up. So I think I'm just going to use them. And I think Maya does this a lot, and she has different tools, but I think her preferred one is her finger. And I think this kind of looks like fun to do it. And yes, once it starts drying, it's less movable. So I think this is going to work great in coloring books. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's a really nice surprise because it's a freebie, and who doesn't love a freebie? So guys, that is it. That is all I have purchased in October and very early in November. This is probably the last haul that I'm going to be doing for 2024. Hopefully I will do a great big January one because my family is going to buy me some stuff on my list. I might share my list closer to Christmas to see what's on it, just kind of like a fun video. But otherwise, I won't be purchasing anything else for the remainder of this year. And I do use all of my stuff, just, for anyone that is thinking that I'm just buying and buying and buying, I do use everything I purchase. So I'm not the type that just buys hundreds of dollars worth of material and never uses them. So you will see me using these in an upcoming video. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry for my voice, guys. I have had laryngitis and this virus for the past week, and it's been getting much better. So, and apologies for missing last week's video. I did not do 4 or 5 videos this month because of my voice, but I really appreciate you stopping by. Would love it if you can press that like button, guys, and I'd love to see you back. So if you want to, please consider pressing the what is it, a join button? What is it called? Guys, I'm having a senior moment. Subscribe. I would really love it if you could press that subscribe button. So I hope to see you back. Thank you again, guys, for stopping by. All right. Have a great day. So long. Bye-bye.